Alright guys, well I'm back today taking a look at the Beretta 92 XI single action only Sabbia. Now I've already done an overview of this handgun and today we are discussing it in its final or peak form, and there may be some critiques of the optic or light that I selected, but you get the picture. This has been decked out and run hard, and I've also been using this with a can, actually a couple of different cans and a couple of different ammo selections. And before we get into the update and overview of this with the optic, suppressor, and light, I want to give a huge shout out to AAC Ammo for sponsoring the ammo to help make this video. I ran a lot of their 147 grain FMJ, and this has actually become my go-to ammo when I'm running a can. It just goes bang every time you pull the trigger. It's super quiet, being that it's subsonic, and it works great. It's super reliable out of a wide variety of platforms, and we'll talk a little bit more about the reliability of this with the can in the reliability section. But if you missed the overview video, you'll definitely want to check that out. But in a nutshell, this is a very ergonomic, single action only, tactical and competition Beretta handgun. Extended safety, single action only. It comes with the 21 round mag extension base plates on here, and it comes with the 3 magazines, a flared mag well, G10 textured grips, really nice beaver tail, and this one comes optics ready. It was 100% functional with and without an optic during that initial video, and since then we've run about, I'd say, 300 more rounds through this setup, primarily the 147 grain AAC, without any issues whatsoever, so still maintaining that 100% reliability. Now, with the optics plate, you can actually select a wide variety of options from Beretta, and the particular one that I selected and that they sent out to the channel along with the handgun was the RMR cut version. Now, this mounts up rock solid with no issues whatsoever, and the only real downfall of the optics mounting system on the Beretta 92 is the fact that this is a classic Beretta 92 with some updates, and therefore it tapers up to the top like a standard Beretta 92. So to make this work, they have to have a slightly thicker optics plate. Now, don't get me wrong, it hugs the slide really well, but you still have a very high height of the optic over the barrel itself, a little bit higher than you would traditionally find on like a milled slide, but not overly high where it causes any issue. It actually points really nicely, super easy to pick up the optic, and it works out great. With the added weight of the optic on the slide, I still have zero issues with this functioning with standard 115, 124, or 147, so it works out great. You won't have any reliabilities. The Hollow Sun is what I selected, but again, they make a wide variety of plates for a wide variety of optics. The next thing I want to talk about is adding a light. I guess on lesser quality pistols, sometimes adding lights can change the harmonics of the system and cause malfunctions or issues. Not at all with the Beretta. I've never had a Beretta have issues when you add a light or something like that, but I did want to mention that because there are, again, lesser quality handguns out there that may be affected by the additions of accessories. Now, one thing I want to talk about that I already talked about in the initial overview was the trigger on this handgun. And since then, it has aged like fine wine. As much as I loved the trigger before, I love it even more now. It is just, breaking super crisp and clean. The reset is audible and tactile. It is one of the nicest Beretta triggers I've ever felt, and really one of the nicest single action only triggers I've ever felt. It's definitely a top 5 for sure, and it just got better as I shot it. Also, it just feels a little bit smoother as I shoot it. I took it down and cleaned it a couple of times after a few range trips, and it just really smooths up, breaks in nicely, and you've got a really good trigger right there. Now let's talk about running this with a suppressor. And at first glance, this appears to be a fixed barrel Beretta, but you see some slight movement to the barrel itself. Now I ran a fixed barrel adapter on a couple of cans, and it did not work. The slide would not function correctly. It became a single shot pistol. When I put the Nielsen device back on, or when I put the standard booster that you would run with most handguns back on, it functioned great. 100% reliability. So I wouldn't consider this a true fixed barrel. So a lot of those fixed barrel adapters that you may have for your cans that you think you would have to put on for a Beretta, you don't. You can remove it, run the Nielsen device, run the standard booster that comes with it, 1/2x28 thread pitch, and it'll work out just fine. Once I put the Nielsen devices back on, I ran it with about 4 different cans, 2 cans that they don't manufacture anymore of the SIG SRD9, and then I believe it was the Rugged Obsidian 9 in the K configuration. I did not run it in the long configuration. So overall, great reliability with 4 cans, no issues whatsoever. It just chugged along nicely. I love that about Beretta. When you pick up a Beretta, you know you're picking up a quality firearm, and I don't know what it is about that. Just the all-metal feel, the quality of the build, and the fact that it is so reliable. I just trust this every time I pick it up, and when I added the suppressor, there was no issues whatsoever. I absolutely love this gun, and after running it even more since the initial video, I just like it that much better. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've tried these or any of the new 92 XI SAO lineups, because they've got a lot of options. This just happens to be my favorite because it's kind of tactical, very practical with a threaded barrel, pick rail, and optics cut. And it's also really great for competitions, kind of a jack of all trades, single action Beretta. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.